Hello. Welcome to 365 Days Live with New, attempt number 2. Okay, I hope the audio is good. Unfortunately, no one is here for me to verify, but I just spent 20 minutes pouring out my heart into the live, and then there was no audio. So I'm just was able to make my coffee and my scones, so I have breakfast here. So I just wanted to come on here and do another celebration with you for the second time. But let me taste my coffee first. It's always so good. Yes. All right. So every Friday I go on live to do what I call a Go Me Club. My hair is like a mess. Sorry, it's like driving me crazy. I go on to do a Go Me Club, which is a celebration of yourself or a celebration of me in this case. So I'm celebrating myself for all the things that went well, or all the things that I attempted to do, little things that I can acknowledge myself for in order to build that self-trust, self-confidence, and self-validation. Because it's important for us to, build that within ourselves and not always look for it externally, right? And so, since I already shared in the first attempt, I know exactly what I want to share with you in terms of celebration. So, my little bread is ready. First of all, I want to celebrate that this week I didn't do really anything that I thought was productive other than coming on for my lives. And why that is a celebration is because I have been so conditioned to do work, to be busy, to do. And so for this whole week, because I was contemplating my gene keys and I was just not feeling like doing stuff, I didn't force myself. And that is definitely something that I want to celebrate myself for. And also celebrate myself for being. That is the word, for being, just being, not doing, but just being, existing, and becoming aware of how my nervous system, how my mind responds to that beingness. And so it's been really interesting, really navigating those times where I'm like, okay, I don't feel like doing anything and I don't want to do anything, but I have these big visions and these big dreams. So what should I do, right? I always go to like, what should I do? What should I do? And so, but this week I was just like, I'm just going to let it be. And that is a big part of my studies right now into my gene keys, which I have been loving. So I want to celebrate that this week I allowed myself to be. And to be honest, I was not fully embracing it, but I do want to celebrate that I did attempt to be in as much beingness as I could. Okay, if that makes any sense. So I want to celebrate that. I want to celebrate this week having a very healing week for my relationship, because last week Robert and I had not a lot, but we just had heavier emotions around our relationship, and it was a very heavily emotional week last week. So this week we spent a lot of time repairing, which is something that we learned when we went to couples counseling, or marriage counseling, is that every couple will have problems, but how the relationship goes is dependent on what types of repairs and if there are repairs that are done to the relationship. So we spent this week repairing, and so we had a much better week this week. And we also were able to go to the gym, because last week we didn't go to the gym as much because we were dealing with a lot of emotional stuff. But this week we did good, and we are climbing up back to being physically healthy again. It's crazy how much 1 week can do in terms of to your physical body, and when you combine the physical inactivity with the emotional, I feel like it compounds the effect it has. So I definitely felt that. So this week has been feeling good for that. So I want to celebrate myself for that. I want to celebrate, you're probably tired of hearing me talk about it by now if you've been watching my lives, but I want to celebrate my contemplations of my gene keys, my gene key 10 and my gene key 15. I'm starting to dive more into the 15, but it really is a lot of work and a lot of contemplation, and it's not very straightforward. So, but it's also very confronting. So it has been great. If you are studying or have studied your gene keys before, let me know your experience. I would love to connect with you, and we could just geek out on it, because I'm like currently in love with it. I'm actually going to do a whole soul frequency gene keys worksheet today, where I'm just going to map out my whole human design and with the gene keys, and seeing the message and seeing that and integrating the two systems together. So I am so excited for it to do that. That is going to be like my main thing today, but I want to celebrate my studies of my gene keys and really honoring and sticking to them, even though they're not easy. I want to celebrate. It's funny because I was like, oh, I shared it in the first one already, and so I should know, but I'm like, okay, now what else? What else? Oh yeah, I want to celebrate Robert and I booking campsites for this year. If you watched my live yesterday, you see that we're, having lots of camping trips coming up. So I want to celebrate that. I want to celebrate signing up for a feminine embodiment energy workshop next week, all around tapping and into your feminism. And you don't have to be a girl for this, but it's really like learning more about what it means to live as a goddess, because we all have that within ourselves. Every person has feminine and masculine energies, and for women, it's important for us to tap back into that femininity, especially if you grew up and grow and live in a very masculine run world, which is, I feel like, most of the world. So I am celebrating myself for doing that, for signing up for that for next week. Is there something else? It's funny because I was like, that's the thing with me. Like, I share really what comes to me in the moment, and that's why I was so sad that I lost the audio for the first one, because I felt like everything just came through so perfectly, like I, in the moment, and for me to try to recreate that is not possible. So let me see. Celebrating not doing anything, celebrating camping, celebrating relationships, celebrating physical health. Yeah, I think that is pretty much a good amount of what I shared in the first video. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying and learning to embrace and be grateful for everything that I do have. And because we can only really build from a place from a solid foundation. And so I want to go back to the roots, go back to the basics of being grateful for what I do have and for who I have in my life, and really enjoy what I feel my sacral feels called to do and to study, which right now is my gene key. So I'm super excited. I know that in the first video I did share about personal growth and development and how I love it, but I share how you can come from it in different angles, from different perspectives. So I think it's unhealthy when you come from when you go towards personal growth and development from a place of believing that you are broken, or that you need to be better in order to be loved or have value or worth. I think if you come from it from that place, it's unhealthy. But if you come to personal growth and development from a place of wholeness and completeness and just excitement about the potential that you have as a human being, navigating the complexities of human life and experience, which is, I feel like, where I come from, then it's great, right? Because then it lights up my sacral to learn things about myself and to understand the human nature and my human nature on a deeper level. To me, is like mind-blowing and like so amazing, and it gives me life. It regenerates my sacral. So I do want to put that caveat in there that It matters where your mindset is when you are doing your personal growth and development work. So yeah, that's something to be mindful for and about. But yeah, I would love to hear any of your shares in the comments of your celebrations. I noticed that if you don't tag me, I'm not going to be notified of the comments. So I will try to remember to say this in the future, but tag me when you comment, so I can come back and see your comments, because I'm doing 365 days. So if you're commenting on like day 2, like I'm not going to see that, because I'm not going to be like scrolling all the way down back to day 2. Okay. So leave me a comment, tag me, and leave me a comment about what you're celebrating about yourself, and say hello. And I will see you tomorrow for the next live. All right, I'm so ready to go have my breakfast now, but I wanted to get this live finished so I can move on with the rest of my day. I always feel like sometimes it's okay to do that. You know, like my undefined route is like, all right, we got to go. We have things to do. And so I wanted to come on here and share and do this while I feel like doing it, and then move on with the rest of my day. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Friday, and I will see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.